JCS community, a mini docuseries Act 1. And I appreciate you joining me here. I hope you like the video, share the video, comment on the video. We're gonna do, and it brings me no pleasure in saying this and entitling the video this, but unfortunately that's where we are. That's exactly where we are right now. I haven't been watching much. I had to get caught up today, actually, when I decided to do this video. I decided to get a little reacclimated with the things that are going on and the people who are doing shows here. And yeah, I came to the conclusion that it is over. It is over as we have known it. Like a lot of you, I'm sure, I stumbled upon the Joe Cronin show around 2015, I believe. It was early to mid 2015 when I came across a one of his pay-per-view reviews, like, as I said, like I'm sure a lot of you did, and I started watching, and I enjoyed what I saw. It was different, it was over the top, and I think all of us, as I'd say probably 90% of the people, we're all wrestling fans, right? So when we saw Joe Cronin, we said, wow, this guy he's fucking wild, right? And I enjoyed it. So I started watching more and more, and I branched out and started getting to know some of the characters in the community. Started paying attention to who JD from New York was, who Tommy NC was, Fat Boy Foulmouth, Ken, JB, all these guys. And at first it was really fun. I liked it. I saw Monetize This. I thought it was fucking crazy, and all the different personalities on there, and everything was great at first. So, as I said, I'm going to get into why I started watching them. We got that covered. Some of the ups, some of the downs, some of the flat out nasty shit that has happened, and we'll get back to where we are right now, which, again, it brings me no pleasure, but this shit is over. It's a fucking wrap. Done. So, started watching Joe, started getting to know all these people, and there were some things I liked, some things I didn't like, but I still remained basically just a viewer, just a fan of the show and some of the people that were on the show. And so I went with the flow and just enjoyed it, right? As time went on, I started getting to know some of the people who had problems with Joe and were a little more outspoken about those problems, such as your Young Republican, Scott McKinnon, Devious Dave Arose, and all these other people came a little later, but Nikki Nines and all these other people who popped their head in and popped their head out and try to be the center of attention. Now we have, well, we'll get to that. So when I ran into the drama club people, and a lot of the things they would say made a lot of sense, right? A lot of their beefs, there was a lot of truth to that. A lot of things they would say made sense, and I was like, wow, yeah, you're right. This is kind of fucked up. A lot of this stuff you guys are saying, you're spot on. I know a little bit of it is amped up, because if you're gonna try to hang with Joe Cronin, you have to amp everything up, because he's a strong personality. He will, he'll do some crazy shit. So you have to do some crazy shit to stay with him. the whole relevancy thing, which we'll get into, which everybody tries to get a little piece of that relevancy pie. So I started talking to them guys and started involving myself with them and voicing some of my own frustrations and my own opinions. Well, you know, that's what it all boils down to. It's all just opinions anyway, right? There is some fact to opinions and there is some fiction to opinions. There's always fucking 3 sides to every story. Got in there with those guys, everything was going cool, you know, met some people who I would consider acquaintances, right? Because you can't really consider people you meet online as fucking friends unless you meet up with them and hang out and get to know them as the people they are in their real lives, their real day-to-day lives. But got into that whole situation, and in the meantime, I'm still watching Joe, right? Still watching Joe and the people who are involved with Joe Cronin. And eventually there are going to be, if you involve yourself, there's going to come a time where you're going to run into some of those problems as well. And my first problem was when I first started getting to know Drama Club and Scott and YR and Mars, those guys. I would get lumped in with them, and I would get lumped in with being a part of, I guess you would say, the shit starting crew, right? And I didn't like that. I was there to give my opinion. I wasn't trolling at first, and it was all just honesty, being honest about the show. If you fast forward to the time that I had my first problem, it was, and I did a stream on it, I believe it's still up, it was when the show started taking a dip. It started going down, in my opinion and many other people's opinions. I voiced my frustrations, and a lot of it was centered around foul-mouthed fat fuck. I didn't like how he was treating Joe. I didn't like how he was disrespecting Joe by falling asleep on his shows. He would show up on Monetize This, and even though he would say, oh, I work and I'm fucking tired, so I'm gonna fall asleep. No, dude, you know, that's not an excuse. That's fine that you work. That's great, actually. But it's not cool if you're gonna fall asleep on the show. Just don't do the show. Just fucking go to bed. Now, we all know Foul-Mouth Fat Body started out talking shit about Joe Cronin to gain a little relevancy, and eventually Joe brought him on his shows. Well, from the very beginning, I knew that Ken was in it for himself. He's a very self-serving, narcissistic fucking piece of shit. He was always in it for himself. He was never in it for Joe. He didn't want to help Joe become something special. He wanted to be a part of Joe's show so he could himself become something special. And it didn't work out for him. It was extremely disrespectful for him to fall asleep on the shows. And JB, you know, the same thing with him, but not to the same extent. JB was half-assed in it and not showing up to the shows. His heart was not in it anymore. I think JB, he enjoyed it at first. He enjoyed being part of something. But once it got to a certain point, I don't think JB could handle what it turned into. And if he walked away for personal reasons, hey, that's on him. It's all good. Do what you gotta do. But Ken didn't walk away. He didn't walk away at all. As a matter of fact, he doubled down and talked even more shit about Joe just so he could get some of the people that had issues with Joe on his side for financial gain, for the popularity, whatever you want to call it. That's exactly what Ken did. He's, as a lot of people have found out by now, one of the biggest pieces of shit in the fucking community. By far. It's no secret now. Everyone knows it. And I'd like to think that I had something to do with that. We had we had that going on, and I said it's fucking extremely disrespectful, you know, and that's where the problem started with a lot of people. So I gravitated naturally even more so to the people like YR and Scott McKinnon. Devious Dave Rose wasn't really in the picture that much, but Old Man Davey, guys like that. And, you know, I started going hard. I started going even harder on it, on all that shit, because it was like an unspoken thing where I think Joe still needed / wanted Ken to be a part, because it did help, you know, for him to be there on the weekends or whatever. He had the wrestling shit rolling as it was. He was making good money, and that was all fine. Him and Jake, they were doing their things, and they were doing their things for a while until I think, you know, Jake had a lot of these medical issues. Jake looks like a complete fucking different person right now. That's a whole nother subject. So the harder I went on Joe and a lot of the people that hung around Joe and were afraid to speak up, the more problems that caused. And let me say right now that if I had any hand and even one penny not going to Joe Cronin, or one subscriber leaving Joe Cronin, I completely fucking apologize. I apologize for all of it, right here, right now. Because this is where we are now. Joe, for whatever reason, either his heart's not as in it as it was, or it can't be in it as much as it was because he has to work another job to support his family. Whatever the case may be, it's done. It's a fucking wrap. As of right now, the Joe Cronin community is dead. And it's even more dead when you talk about and think about the shows that have branched out from the Joe Cronin show channel. It's fucking horrendous. Fucking horrendous. I don't see Tommy around anymore, which was a huge part of everybody's show. We have Ken doing his shows, which is mostly talking about the same shit every fucking time, and doing his stupid ass impressions and his childish ass dick and fart jokes. Fucking garbage. Then we have YR. I think as we speak, he's doing a rap maniac show with fucking what's his nuts, Jake Bars and fucking Keith. And I don't have to tell you guys how fucking garbage that show is, right? You have that. I didn't even know Nicky Nines had a fucking channel for the longest time, but I guess he still does his once in a while. I'm gonna get on here and fucking just yell. I'm gonna yell at everybody. Which he calls the Hemmings. But the guy's so irrelevant. He's always been irrelevant because the only time he had anything was when he went after Joe. And when he goes after anyone else, be it Scott, be it, you know, he does get a bump from Scott. When he goes after Scott, people pay attention. But when he goes after, like, Danny MT, you know, when he goes after Danny MT and yells into his microphone while his wife's away fucking working and doing whatever the fuck she's got to do while his fat ass is sitting there collecting the government check. It's awful. You're ranting about a guy who's clearly just trying to be the new Scott McKinnon and failing miserably as of now, from what I've heard, and I've just heard snippets. It's fucking god awful. And then we have Dave Rose. He's still doing his 8-hour streams about the same shit every single fucking day. And anybody who sits there and listens to his pompous, fucking arrogant ass every day, what are you doing with your lives? This guy, oh my fucking Christ, man. It's terrible. This community, Tony from Revia, this guy, he did like a test video the other day. If you sat through more than 2 minutes of that 3-hour stream, here's a piece of rope. Here you go. Just get it over with, for fuck's sake. And other than that, what is there? What the fuck is there in this community anymore? I declare, as of right now, 9:34, fucking Monday, November, whatever the fuck it is. It's over. It was a good run, but it is over. There's nothing left. And Joe, again, I apologize if I had any hand in this, but I believe everybody else who rode that wave and hating you and fucking trying to get people away from you and not donate to you, they had a hand in this as well, and they owe you an apology. Right here, right now. You should apologize to Joe Crone, because now look what you've done. We have nothing to look forward to in this community. I have gotten into so many other hobbies. This shit is not even worth it. The notifications pop up for these shows, and just by the title and the people who are doing these shows alone, I've unsubscribed from most of them. Honestly, I've unsubscribed from most of them. It's not even worth clicking on anymore. It is utter trash. I'm disappointed. I kind of knew it was coming. I didn't think it would be this quickly. But now that I think about it, going back, it has been, 6 years. Fucking going on 7 years that I've been involved in this shit. That's quite a long time, Quite a long time. And Joe made a lot of money. He did well. And a lot of these other people made a few bucks. But is it worth it to spend that much of your life online to make a few bucks? Joe Cronin says no. He'll tell you no right now. He should be even more open about it. He makes his little comments here and there. I watched a couple of his last streams. Well, I think this is it. Or, thanks for the donation. It's probably one of the last ones I'll ever get. It's done. It's fucking done, dude. It's over. And let's just think for a second let's think that you're the child of a guy like Ken Morrison. Let's say you're one of his kids and you see this fat, lazy, ignorant fucking asshole walking around the house with an earpiece in, listening to fucking YouTube all day. That's what he does. Damn well that's what he does. The guy probably has headphones in when he's taking a shit because he doesn't want to miss a second of what somebody says. Not one fucking second. Imagine you're one of his kids, dude. How neglected and how fucked up would you grow up to be? Unfortunately, I think some kids are going to grow up to find that out real soon. And it's fucking sickening. Fucking sickening. For that fat bastard to have any balls to walk around and talk shit about anyone when he can't look in the mirror and see what the fuck he does with his life, it's disgusting. Fucking just, it makes me want to throw up. I might throw up in my mouth right now, just thinking about it. This guy is the biggest douchebag. And then Dave Rose, that's your number one go-to guy now, Ken? Dave Rose? A guy who gets on every single fucking day instead of taking care of his father? I mean, you guys, we gotta come up with a nickname for you guys. The tag team. The fucking, you guys neglect everything in your lives for this fucking YouTube shit. And it's gross, dude. It's fucking gross. I think people should look into the people that you're supposed to be looking after. Because there's no way you can be doing a good job with all the time that you spend of your life on this fucking platform. It's pathetic. So for either one of you to ever mention my fucking name again, don't waste your breath. Don't waste your time. Because this shit's over. This community is fucking dead. And each and every one of you owe Joe an apology. And as a matter of fact, you should probably donate a couple $100 a piece to him to help him get back on track so we can have something entertaining to watch. Otherwise, you're stuck with Drama Diner. 8 hours a day of fucking utter trash of him talking about the same shit. You're stuck with Rap Maniacs. With Keith Rebarber mumbling into a mic. And God bless you, Keith. God bless you, brother. But it's tough. It's really tough. And you have Tony from Revere with his little outfits and his little cosplay and his effects on his voice and his face, and oh my god, it's so cringe. So fucking cringe. And this deranged lunatic Danny MT yelling into his, or not even yelling into his mic, fucking talking like a fuck, because he's so fucked up on probably painkillers and maybe a little andro shot in his ass and fucking alcohol all day. He's a younger version of fucking Dave Rose. If you grow up to be Dave Rose, Danny, get your shit together, man. Seriously. Do what Scott did. Walk away for a little bit and do what you always said you would do. Okay? After all the shit that everybody talked about Scott, they all wanted him to die and they wanted him to end himself and this and that. All that dude said was he wanted to get his shit straight and he wanted to go get help. And now he does it. And now look what you have. You guys have nothing. You have nothing entertaining to watch now because he's gone. Which in all reality, great. I'm glad he's getting himself help. I hope he has turned everything around. If I knew, I wouldn't tell you. If I do know, I certainly wouldn't tell you. But this is what you've done. There's nothing fucking left. You lost the good old days of Old Man Davey, Drama Club, when Mars Mira was kind of cool and gave a fuck about the community. I still think he gives a fuck, but only when he wants to, which, that's all good. That's fine too. But there's nothing, man. There's nothing left. It's in shambles. You know, you... I'm sorry. It's so hard to talk about. There were so many good times. I'm sitting here right now. There are good times popping into my head of all the funny shit that has happened and when people were happy and even when people weren't happy and fighting with each other. It was at least entertaining. There was a kayfabe part to it all. And it made it fun and interesting, and you were like, fuck, I don't know what the hell's going to happen today, but shit, I'm going to turn this show on and see. Right? But now, what is there to turn on? What is there to turn on and care about? It got so bad to where we had to dip over into someone else's community so many times. Be it fucking Melky Woodland. Be it Sean's View. Whatever it is. People have had to branch out and find other means of bringing someone in and finding entertainment. You know, that Bullfrog took over Tommy's spot to some degree, but I mean, if we're really going to compare, is Bullfrog, is he big enough? Sorry. He is big enough, but I don't think his feet are big enough to fill Tommy's shoes. We're seeing that Tommy was gold. He was pure gold to everyone, and all the people who... That's why I never got involved with that whole part. I did not want to push Tommy away at all, and I hated when people would go too far. You can fuck with them, you know, fuck with them a little bit. It's funny, right? But they went too far and they pushed him away. Just like you guys went too far and you pushed Scott McKinnon away. You've gone too far and you've pushed me away. And now, the ultimate, you've gone too far and you've pushed Joe Cronin away. The whole reason why we're all here. The guy whose life dream it was to be a fucking personality in the wrestling world. You have pushed him away. And each and every single fucking one of you owe him an apology. And the first one I'm calling out right now is that fat, idiotic, worthless sack of shit, foul-mouthed fat body Ken. You should get on your very next stream, get on your fucking knees in your living room, wherever the fuck you do your terrible streams at, and you should put your hands together and apologize to Joe Cronin. As a matter of fact, you should drive to his home in Massachusetts and kiss the fucking ground that he walks on, and then kiss his feet and say, I am sorry, Joe. Please come back. Please find something in you that sparks that love that you had for this whole fucking community, because without you, Joe, I'm nothing. Then after that, Devious Dave Rose. You are the next in line. You're the next in line to fucking get on your knees and apologize to Joe Cronin, because we all know that you certainly would be nothing without fucking Joe Cronin. You're getting the people that Joe Cronin ousted, that Joe Cronin didn't want any part of. You're getting hit those people. You might get a few bucks from those people, but mostly you're just getting the trolls. And is that worth it to you, Dave? Is that worth more to you than your own fucking dying father? Is it worth it to you, Ken, more than your fucking children and your wife? Your fucking bonbon eating, Oprah watching wife is sitting there, and you still are gonna sit there on the complete other side of the fucking house and listen to every grown man's show on YouTube. Well, you're wasting your time now. You're all wasting your time now, because this shit is doo-doo. It's fucking trash. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and give someone some credit right now. If anything, the only one that's actually putting in effort and doing different shit is Heist Man Defoe. That guy is the only one I see making different videos and fucking not diving in all this garbage ass bullshit and trying to get everyone, you know, trying to get everyone upset and pushing them away. Instead, what we have is this guy, fat mouth, fuckface Ken. And the times that he gets the most, and I saw this, let me just say I saw this. And rest in peace to you, sir, and to your family. I'm sorry for their loss. But Ken has always done this. Ken says he's not this, he's not that. He's not a racist. He's a great guy with a great heart. But he also goes around telling everyone they should fucking kill themselves. That same guy is the same guy that will get on stream and fake cry, fake tears over a fucking internet stranger losing their life. Regardless of how that person lost their life. For this fucking pussy to get on stream and fake cry for fucking... I had to turn it off, dude. He was crying for a couple minutes on that stream, and I had to... I was so fucking uncomfortable hearing this guy cry about a fucking stranger when he doesn't even pay attention to his own goddamn family. You, sir, are the lowest of the low. A complete worthless pile of fucking dog shit. And I hate your goddamn guts. We got much more to say. Much more to say about this shit. But I'm so fucking riled up right now that I gotta take a breather. Just think about what the fuck you've done and where the fuck we are. And I'll be back to give you guys some more. And the inside scoop of what the fuck is going on and why the fuck we are where we are right now. I am pissed. Later.